everybody goes through a lot, but that space is for me to just take my pain and play with it. When I was nominated for 2 categories, I was like, no, not the Homsha. Not a thug like me. I think you need to choose your niche. You can't be a content creator for everybody. Just pick up the phone and press record. It just requires you to be brave.
Don't hold back. Say it loud. What's up, everybody? My name is Nozivele Kamganamayaba. I am your host. Welcome to our award-winning podcast, Don't Hold Back. This is a partnership between DStv, Jacaranda FM, and East Coast Radio. I'm so excited. I have another interesting topic for today. In studio, we have TikTok sensation. She's an award-winning content creator. Yes! Please help me welcome Tums the Narrator.
Hello.
Hey, Tums, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Listen, I'm very excited. I've been following you on social media. I know you won an award recently. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about a lot of things, actually. Before we get into it, it's standard procedure. You know, in the show, I ask guests to come in with a snack that we can share. I see something without letting me know on the story behind it. Just tell our viewers, what did you bring?
A chocolate muffin with a cupcake. Same thing to us, right?
Oh, same thing to us. The other one has just the toppings.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's muffin.
Muffin. Okay. It's a queen's cake.
I can't wait. I have a sweet tooth and I'm not on a diet today. So we're going to have some later and you're going to tell me the story behind it.
Okay.
Dumi, I understand you started on TikTok. What was the journey behind it? Were you bored? You wanted to create content? Were you very intentional about it? Just tell me about your journey.
COVID.
Okay.
Yeah. Not the Delta variant, the original one. Right? I was bored. I was bored working from home. Yeah. And then TikTok started. And then I was doing some dance moves, but I don't know how to dance. Okay. And then I shared one story about my complex. And then it went viral. I was like, okay, I'm good at this. Then I kept on going. And 1 month turned into 3.5 years now.
Oh my word!
Yeah, so it's.
No, I need to know the story about the complex very very briefly. What was the story?
So I have a diverse complex, and then there's Womeray, and then there's like Karens,
Gerda, everyone,
alles, right? Yes. But he is like Womeray is like very strict, and there's Annelie who's just causing a lot of drama for no apparent reason. And then the issue was the dogs are barking and like, can you please control your dogs? I'm so sick of you. You know what? What do you want me to do? Is there an app that you can recommend so I can keep the dogs quiet? So it's like these issues within the complex that people just complain and what do you want the dogs to do? Like, is there an app you can recommend? And just our fights. And there's a taxi driver. There is...
Oh my gosh.
He's a taxi owner.
Okay, there's a lot.
There's a lot of diverse people. And it goes down on the WhatsApp group. Yeah. So the WhatsApp group in the complex is just where we just go in and complain. Yeah.
You know what? As a fellow content creator, I started my journey on YouTube, right? 2019. My intention was one video and that was it. And I always tell a story that back then it was more like makeup-y people. I just recently learned how to do my brows and I feel like I did a good job today.
You did a good job.
Thank you very much. And the eyeshadow as well.
I see. On point.
I mean, hello. Back then it was like all makeup people. I was like, this is not me. This is not my space. But there was a delay with my book. I was like, okay, let me do one video on YouTube and then I'll get out. Then 4 years later, I'm still on YouTube. Yeah. But at what point did you see that, hang on a sec, there's something here. I could formalize this. I could capitalize on it. When was that and how did you do it?
I think I kept consistent. Because I'm a marketer by profession, I said, okay, this thing is going somewhere. And I said, what are the things that I want to do and what are the things that I don't want to do? I declared it at work that I'm on TikTok and TikTok is going. And then I said, I put guardrails for myself. These are the things I don't want to be a part of. These are the brands I don't want to work with. These are the values that I'll carry. Yeah. And then I started going and I kept it authentic. I took real life issues from the complex. I didn't try and fabricate. I would dramatize, but not fabricate. I was like, yeah, man, I love doing this. Like, cause it's a space where I just offload. You know, everybody goes through a lot, but that space is for me to just take my pain and play with it. And and I kept going. And then they were like, and I would listen to the comment section. They're like, why are you not on Facebook? Please open a Facebook page. Then we opened a Facebook page. Why are you not Instagram? Okay, fine. and I listen to what they ask for, and I give it to them. YouTube, yeah, I'm struggling with the numbers there. It's not make sure, but I try my best to deliver content that's just reality. And
but listen, as a marketer, you would understand also it's different markets.
Yes.
Although it's all social media, but it's literally different markets, and you have to cater, according to that, right? No, man, I think you touched on something that was very interesting and important for me. I was doing a talk recently at a university, and also asking about my content creation journey. And I said to them, you know what? I don't have the most clean content, quality-wise. Here and there, but what I know for sure, I'm going to bring you real and authentic content. And I think that's the crux of why people relate also to you. I've watched some of the videos. I'm like, yes, talking about Omar. This is Omar is next to me now. The other day, someone around our neighborhood, we started searching for birds. The birds escaped from the cage. There were about 30 birds. There were 30 birds that we needed. My question is, you're gonna see the birds. Yeah. But the problem is, so must I now run after the birds?
Pretty much.
Like what's the etiquette when it comes to just, you have the experience with your complex. What's the etiquette? Like if there was a situation like that.
You put it on mute. Put the group on mute. Put it on archive. You didn't see it. Don't read. Put it on archive. You didn't see it. You only come back 2 days later. I'm like, the birds were missing.
So, talking about the award that you recently won.
Yes.
DStv award. Tell me about the category, and was it expected? Did you expect that you're going to get nominated? You're going to win?
No.
Did you expect that you will be in that space?
No, not at all. I was nominated for 2 categories. The Alter Ego and the Content of the Year award.
Yeah.
And I did enter last year, but I wasn't even nominated.
Yeah.
So I was reluctant to enter, and my best friend was like, just do it. I mean, you have nothing to lose. I'm like, I was disappointed. Like, that wasn't nominated last year, but let me try. Sent it through. And when I was nominated for 2 categories, I was like, no, not the Humsha. Not a thug like me. And then I asked my community to help me out for the first time. I'm like, you know what? I never asked you for anything, but please just vote. And I would take their advice and say, one particular comment said, don't show us both, show us one. Because if you split the votes into 2, you won't win. But choose one where we will vote. And they vote, and they came through for the biggest one. So I was like, what? Even I was shocked. I was even recording when they were announcing, and my mind was not at my name. I was not even there at all. So when I won, I was like, there was no speech, no confidence. I was just like,
you froze.
I froze. I froze. And the only thing I could think of was my community. Say, guys, I didn't think you guys would pull through, but I am so thankful that I'm recognized for this. And it was greatly appreciated, but I was shocked.
Yeah.
Shook.
When we first started to actually see how content creation could literally change our lives, at first it was very frowned upon. It's not the traditional career journey, career choice. But over time, we've actually seen how, people are securing the bag. Yep. I get shocked every time, a fellow content creator is sealing a deal and they're just talking about, how much money they're going to get. I'm like, sorry, excuse me, what was that? Some of it you think to yourself, that's probably my annual, salary that you're going to get just now. But from your experience, I would love to hear your thoughts around the revolution of content creation and how it has changed over time, how people have made it, their full-time careers. I just want to hear your thoughts on that for someone that firstly wants to get into the space, but is a bit skeptical, about the stability of it. How do I sustain myself within this journey? What do you have to say?
I think you need to choose your niche. You can't be a content creator for everybody. Just pick up the phone and press record. It just requires you to be brave. That's it. And you'll see based on, what your audience love you to do. And I know you want to do what you want to do, but your audience will also pick where you need to be. And go there with brave and a thick skin. because you know that you're putting yourself out there. You know, you are going, not everybody will like your content. Content is subjective.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't stop you from doing the content. And you must know there's negative sellers in there. But choose your niche and choose where you want to be, what you want to be associated with. You are responsible for your brand identity, but not necessarily your image. So make sure they talk to one another and stay in those spaces. And it's very profitable to generate content, and brands are calling you to do it. I have a permanent job as well, so this is on the side.
Yes.
But I'm very strict on which brands I want to work with. If it's not in line with my brand, I don't do it at all. And yes, people may say, yes, you're leaving money on the table, but it's not worth my brand. It's not worth it at all. So also be strict about what you want to do with whom, and take the criticism. Maybe people can be negative. They're like, no, do me your hairline. I'm like, yeah, my hairline is receding.
I mean,
I have accepted it. I have self-awareness. But the comments are tough. They're tough.
No, but show me that your hairline is very nice today.
I knew I'm coming here, so I put gel. I put some gel. I'm like, yeah.
No, but it's popping. It's really popping.
I did the baby hair, natural baby hair.
Listen, I think you just said something. I had an aha moment. And I'm not sure, like, you took the moment to realize what you just said. You said, I'm responsible for my brand identity, but not by my brand image. I think that's going to stay with me for quite some time, because I think sometimes it's the other way around, where we focus more on the image and then we allow other people to formalize our brand identity. Wow. Okay. Just before, there's a game that I want to play with you. But just before the game, I want to understand, where do you find the balance between Tumi, you as a person, and Tumi the narrator that we see on social media? Because I can tell you, I've struggled with it. Obviously, once again, the content is real, very authentic. There's no other person besides Unozi. But I mean, I'm human. I'm not going to be happy chappy all the time.
Not all the time.
I'm literally at the mall with my flip-flops, the other one is pointing this way and the other one is pointing that way. I'm just not in the mood. And people expect, hey, Naz, how you doing? Do that thing that you do on YouTube. I'm like, okay, this is not the time. Do you differentiate between Tumi and as a person and Tumi the narrator? Where do you find the balance?
It's a tough one. Finding the balance is a tough one, but I try not to pick up and create content when I'm not feeling the narrator. Okay. So I separate the personalities.
Yeah.
So Tumi is an introvert, stays at home, loves to work, loves marketing, but when she picks up the phone, she's narrator. And I do have instances that people are looking at me, I'm like, is there a reason why, is there something wrong? And then my husband will be like, you're in Tums the Narrator. I was like, oh, okay. Okay. And then you're like, oh, they just take you out of your zone. But I always say that person would come with good intentions. They have no reason to, let's say, be violent with you. They just admire you. So sometimes, like, somebody said, no, can I please take his pictures? I was like, that's okay, but I'm not feeling myself. I just had a baby. I'm not feeling confident, but would a hug suffice? And then she understood. But they're coming from a loving place.
Yeah, absolutely.
But to find a balance is quite tough, because they come, hey, Tums the Narrator, you're like, hey man,
just as you're about to take a bite.
Take a bite, and it's shocking. It's a shock to your system. But I always be grounded, and I never walk out of the house with Tums the Narrator cap.
Yeah.
I woke up with Tumi, with my family.
Yeah.
Finish.
Yeah.
If I don't even think about I'm going to bump into people. I don't wear that on my shoulder. Like, if I bump into you, recognize me, fine, no problem. But I always say that person came out from a place of love. So sometimes, yes, I may have a bad day, but so long as I can explain to you that I'm having a bad day, if you're understanding, then that's fine.
Yeah.
If not, then I'll be like,
Listen, I'm going to play rapid fire questions with you.
Okay.
10 seconds and less. Don't think about it too much. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions.
Okay.
Okay. Knickknacks or stereo stamp?
Knickknacks.
Okay. Best TV show?
Gomorrah.
You know what's funny? It's how you said Gomorrah. It's similar to how that person on Gomorrah says. Favorite character to impersonate?
Character.
Have you done the Sarah Ramaphosa impersonation?
No,
When he was on the World Cup? Yeah.
No. Israel Manko.
Oh,
Zulu.
okay.
Yes.
Okay. South African comedian you will share a beer with, invite for a bride.
Pop-ups.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay, I understand. Absolutely understand. Alone on a desert island with only one, either Instagram or TikTok, which one would you use?
TikTok.
Okay, because it's fast.
Fresh content, it's different.
Yeah. Tell me more. I've met Mops. We did a TV show together. And I think the one thing that was drawn to him about is how like he's so grounded and his humility. I literally felt like it's a guy that, I've known for quite some time.
Yes.
Did you feel the same way as well?
I have never met.
Oh, sorry, like just from even his content and
yeah. I think he takes time with his craft.
Yeah.
He just bends the rules, and he's a rebel in the way he thinks, and I admire that, to push the boundaries. I just saw his Sia Kolisi video. I was still rolling. Like, I have it on my favorites. I shared it with my whole family. And like, it's different, it's fresh, and it wants me to continuously do and be creatively different. So yeah, huge inspo to me.
Talking about, inspiring you to do different, to think about your craft, where to from here? Do you see yourself as a full-time content creator?
Yes.
Okay.
I say this because marketing, I'm a creative at heart, and I wanted a space to let out my creativity. I will always continue. I love that I can just bring something fresh, because in my industry, it's very strict and, there's no life, if I may say. But on the other side, it's amazing. You get to, have your opinion out there as a comedian and see what people like, what you don't like. So I will definitely continue.
Okay. Yeah. And more full-time, you think?
No, full-time, I want stability.
I know.
I want that plum without fail.
Every month.
That
Thank you. I'm so happy to meet someone who feels the same.
No.
Every time someone, Nazi, the reason why you don't feel like you could do this is because you're doing 50-50. I'm like, then there's a level of stability that I need in my life. I have a child who's 5 months and I need to buy milk. Okay?
Yes.
I know the potential the other side has, but also there's that stability.
The stability. That plum must,
Yeah, I know.
That extra one does cover, yes, but can't.
I was having a conversation with someone about, also content creation in South Africa, and they made a note about how we still have a couple more years to catch up with the rest of the world. Simple things such as, content creators could have less subscribers, but they make more money in the US because of the different markets and all of that. I think this is my last question to you. What do you think will take for us to get there? Because I feel like we're doing a lot, we're working very hard, but I want us to get there. I want us to, compete at that level. And I feel like it's still going to take us a couple of years to get there. In your opinion, what will get us there?
I think we're already there.
Okay.
It's just the system. We have this narrative that Africa's poor. So because we have that narrative, we are always put last. We are not always given the resources like everybody else because Africa's poor. But everybody, if I look at the content creation in Africa, we are there, if not better.
Wow.
It's just that the system is not allowing us to be remunerated. Like, I think people from Europe or America are getting money per view.
Yes.
So you can, that's why they do content and 1.3 million views, there's money. You can do it 5 million views. No. You get a thank you on your comment section by your fans. You're not getting remunerated.
Yeah.
So it's not that we are not able to do that content. We are there. It's just the system is just, it's poor Africa, this narrative. And the system also is not saying the greatness of content creation. So it'll still take us time if we are unable to change the systems that actually supposed to change us to be better.
Tums, just before we finish off, I'm ready now for the cupcake and the muffin. Tell me the story behind it.
Okay, so...
Is it because you're chocolate?
No. So my mom is a Tswana. My mom is Tswana. My dad is Zulu, right?
Okay.
Or was Zulu. My dad's late. So my mom is getting into this modernization thing, right?
Whoa.
So we go to a restaurant and then she's having her lunch. She ordered a burger, but she was shabbing. Now, to shabba is literally like, like eating.
No!
She was eating it like. I was like, no.
Wait, what was she eating?
She was eating a burger and then the muffin because it had this thing. It had this thing. She was like eating it like pop.
Yes, mommy. Who needs a knife and a fork? Who needs that?
I'm like, no, Mama, you're supposed. Oh, you pin it. Oh, sorry. So I was like, sorry. So she's trying to get into this modernization mode. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, no, I'm eating.
Yes.
I'm like, no, Mama, it's just a muffin. It's like, oh, okay.
Listen, I can't wait. Let me have a taste. Do you want to have a taste of the cupcake?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna taste the muffin. Oh gosh, thank goodness I'm on a diet today.
You can never go wrong with chocolate.
Oh yeah, that tastes good. I'm gonna have a piece of the chocolate cupcake as well. Yeah, it's good. Hey. Mm-hmm. Okay. That was good. Tums,
yes.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
I'm going to continue following you and stalking you on social media.
Do.
And I'm literally going to be one of those people like, no, I interviewed her. I was in the same room as her. Yeah. When you win more awards.
Yeah.
When I see you headlining your own show.
Yeah.
I'm prophesying here. Please,
I accept it.
Yes.
I receive.
Please receive it. But thank you so much, Tums, for coming.
You're welcome.
This has been Don't Hold Back, a podcast in collaboration with DW, Jacaranda FM, and East Coast Radio. Please catch this episode and many other episodes wherever you get your podcast. It is also available on YouTube. Until next time, this is your host, Nozibele Kamgana Mayaba. I'll see you next time.